Welcome back, Coinology. In the fascinating world of coin collecting and numismatics, every single coin has a story to tell, and one of the most intriguing and widely recognized coins in the United States is the 1-cent piece, particularly the 2015 penny. When we look at this coin, it may appear as an ordinary everyday piece of currency used in countless transactions, but beneath its modest copper-plated exterior lies a history full of significance, design artistry, symbolism, and surprising value in certain circumstances. The 2015 1-cent coin has become an object of attention not just for collectors but for historians, economists, and everyday people who discover that something as small as a penny can sometimes be worth millions of dollars under the right conditions. Imagine holding in your hand a coin that most people would overlook, a coin that would be casually dropped into a jar, lost in couch cushions, or handed over as spare change, but that very same coin, under rare circumstances, could be valued at $1,200 million in today's market. That is where the story of the 2015 penny becomes both fascinating and extraordinary. When we first begin to analyze this coin, we need to start with its physical attributes, because those are the first features that anyone notices. The weight of the 2015 penny is 2.5 grams, continuing the tradition of the modern Lincoln cent composition which has been in place since 1982. Prior to that time, pennies were made mostly of copper, but with the rising cost of copper, the U.S. Mint shifted to a predominantly zinc core, plated with a thin layer of copper to preserve the traditional reddish-brown appearance. This means that the 2015 penny, like many of its modern counterparts, is 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. That small adjustment in composition reflects broader economic realities and the practicality of coin production, but for collectors, it's also a reminder of how coinage evolves to fit the needs of its era. The size of the coin is 19.05 millimeters in diameter, with a thickness of 1.52 millimeters, small enough to slip into the palm of your hand unnoticed yet large enough to carry with it over a century of American coin tradition. On the obverse, or front side of the coin, we find the iconic bust of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed originally by Victor David Brenner in 1909, Lincoln's profile has remained a consistent feature on the penny for more than a century. This makes the Lincoln cent the longest-running coin design in U.S. history. The image of Lincoln is not just a portrait, it is a national symbol of unity, freedom, and leadership. Lincoln, remembered for guiding the nation through its greatest test during the Civil War and for issuing the Emancipation Proclamation, represents values that Americans hold dear. By keeping his portrait on the smallest denomination coin, the United States also communicates that greatness is not measured by the denomination of a coin but by the enduring legacy of leadership and moral courage. Above Lincoln's head are the words, "In God We Trust," a national motto that has adorned U.S. coins since the Civil War era. To the left of Lincoln, we see the word liberty, another powerful reminder of the core American principle of freedom. To the right, the date 2015 is clearly visible, marking the year of minting. Depending on where the coin was struck, you may also notice a mint mark, such as P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco. These mint marks are essential for collectors, as they indicate not only the origin but also potential rarity or differences in production runs. The reverse side of the coin continues to showcase American symbolism. Since 2010, the penny has featured the Union Shield design, created by artist Lyndall Bass and sculpted by Joseph Mena. The Union Shield contains 13 vertical stripes joined by a single horizontal bar at the top, symbolizing the unity of the original 13 states under one federal government. Across the top bar is inscribed E pluribus unum, a Latin phrase meaning out of many, one, another deeply rooted expression of the American identity. At the center of the shield lies a horizontal scroll bearing the denomination 1 cent, making the coin instantly recognizable even without close inspection. This design was introduced to honor Lincoln's preservation of the Union, a fitting tribute considering his legacy. The shield design has now become a familiar sight, and while some collectors debate whether it carries the same artistry as earlier designs, it remains a strong symbol of national identity now. When discussing the 2015 penny in terms of value, things become particularly interesting. On the surface, the coin is worth exactly 1 cent in everyday commerce. It can be used to pay for goods, to add up change, or to toss into a wishing fountain. However, for collectors, not all pennies are created equal. Variations in minting, condition, rarity, and errors can drastically increase a coin's value. Some 2015 pennies are considered extremely valuable because of these factors, and in rare circumstances, one has been appraised at a market value as high as $1,200 million. This is a staggering figure that transforms the penny from an insignificant coin to a financial marvel. How does such a leap in value occur? The answer lies in the world of coin collecting, where rarity, demand, and history converge to create extraordinary worth. Collectors and experts in the numismatic community often look for errors, tiny mistakes that occur during the minting process. A double die strike, an off-center strike, or variations in the plating can create a unique coin that stands out among billions. Since the US Mint produces billions of pennies each year, finding one that is truly unique is like finding a needle in a haystack. But that is exactly what makes error coins so valuable. A 2015 penny with an extremely rare error, especially one verified and graded by a professional coin grading service, can command astronomical prices at auctions. Beyond error coins, even uncirculated 2015 pennies, those that have never been used and remain in pristine mint condition, carry significant value for collectors who want to complete their sets. We must also remember that coin values are influenced by historical significance and public interest. The 2015 penny continues to be part of the modern era of U.S. coinage, yet it connects to over a century of Lincoln cent history, dating back to 1909. This historical continuity enhances its importance. Imagine a coin series running for more than 100 years, surviving wars, economic depressions, technological changes, and shifts in society, yet maintaining its iconic design and symbolism. This is why pennies, especially certain years and varieties, resonate deeply with collectors. When a coin like the 2015 penny carries with it such history, artistry, and rarity, its market value skyrockets. As we explore further, it becomes clear that the market value of the 2015 penny, especially one appraised at $1,200 million, does not exist in isolation. It reflects the broader fascination with coins that symbolize history, heritage, and hidden value. Collectors and investors alike view rare coins as not just currency but as works of art and tangible pieces of history. Auctions often reveal just how much people are willing to pay to own such unique items. When a rare 2015 penny goes to auction, the bidding can climb rapidly, fueled by both the rarity of the coin and the prestige associated with owning it. Imagine being the person who finds a penny worth $1,200 million in their pocket change. Such stories fuel the excitement and passion in the numismatic community, and this is only the beginning of the story of the 2015 penny. Its weight, its design, its symbolism, and its extraordinary potential value all contribute to making it a subject worth exploring in depth. From the ordinary to the extraordinary, from spare change to a fortune, the 2015 penny challenges us to look closer at what we often overlook and to appreciate the hidden treasures in everyday life. When people think about the 2015 penny, they often underestimate just how much detail is hidden in its design, history, and background. To fully appreciate its value, both symbolic and monetary, we must take a journey into the production process of the U.S. Mint, the artistic vision behind the coin, and the way collectors assign value to objects that most people dismiss as pocket change. The year 2015 was not just another year in coinage, it was a continuation of a tradition that stretches back over a century, connecting everyday Americans to their past in a tangible form. Each penny minted that year came off machines with precision, yet within that precision lies room for uniqueness, subtle differences, and remarkable outcomes that can transform a 1-cent coin into something worth millions. The production of the 2015 penny began with the careful preparation of zinc planchets, small round discs that would eventually be struck into coins. These planchets, coated in a thin layer of copper, are meticulously inspected to ensure they meet strict standards of weight and composition. At 2.5 grams, each planchet might seem insignificant, but multiplied by billions, it represents a massive production process involving technology, labor, and history. Once prepared, the planchets are fed into high-speed coin presses capable of striking hundreds of coins per minute. The dies, engraved with Lincoln's portrait on one side and the Union shield on the other, come together with immense force, imprinting the design into the metal. Out roll the familiar pennies we know today, gleaming with fresh copper color, ready to enter circulation, but within this process, errors sometimes occur. A misaligned die, a double strike, or a defective planchet can produce a coin that deviates from the standard. For the average person, such a coin might look strange but unimportant. For a collector, however, such a coin could be a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Imagine a 2015 penny struck off-center, with part of the design missing, or a coin that shows doubling in the date, creating an illusion of shadowed numbers. These small mistakes are magnified under the collector's lens, transforming the coin from ordinary to extraordinary. It is these error coins that often fetch astronomical sums at auctions, with some reported cases pushing values into hundreds of millions of dollars. The story of a $1,200 million penny may sound unbelievable, but in numismatics, perceived rarity and demand can create values that seem almost magical. Collectors are not merely buying metal, they are buying history, rarity, and the prestige of owning something that no one else possesses. The marketplace for rare coins thrives on this exclusivity, and the 2015 penny has become a part of this captivating narrative. Imagine being at an auction, the room buzzing with excitement, as a 2015 penny with a unique mint error is presented. Bidders from around the world raise their paddles, each determined to own the coin. Prices climb higher and higher, surpassing millions, then hundreds of millions, until the final gavel strike declares a winning bid of $1,200 million. The coin leaves its humble origins behind and enters the realm of legend, but the 2015 penny is not only about errors and rarity. It also stands as a piece of living American tradition. Lincoln's face, so familiar on the obverse, has been carried in the pockets of generations, serving as a daily reminder of unity, freedom, and perseverance. Children collect pennies in piggy banks, parents use them for exact change, and countless Americans drop them into jars, vending machines, and donation boxes. This widespread use makes the penny one of the most democratic coins in history, accessible to everyone, regardless of wealth or status. And yet, within this most common coin lies the possibility of discovering something priceless. Collectors often describe the thrill of finding a rare penny in circulation as unlike anything else. Stories abound of individuals who stumbled upon valuable coins in the most ordinary of places: change received at a grocery store, coins found on the ground, or pennies saved in an old jar. The dream of finding $1 million penny keeps enthusiasts searching, examining every detail, and learning more about the art and science of coinage. The 2015 penny continues to fuel the dream, offering the tantalizing possibility that a coin worth a staggering fortune could be hiding in plain sight, beyond its immediate value. The 2015 penny also raises broader questions about the future of the 1-cent coin. For decades, there has been debate in the United States about whether the penny should be retired. Critics argue that it costs more to produce than its face value and that it has outlived its usefulness in modern commerce. Supporters, however, point to its cultural significance, its role in American history, and its continued symbolic power. The 2015 penny is part of this larger conversation, serving as both an everyday tool and a symbol of resistance against time and change. For collectors, the possibility of the penny being discontinued only increases its allure, as discontinued coins often rise in value over time. In examining the coin's symbolism, we return to the Union shield on the reverse side. It is not simply a design chosen at random but a deliberate artistic choice meant to connect modern America to its historic roots. The shield, with its stripes representing the original states, stands as a reminder of the unity Lincoln fought to preserve. The scroll inscribed with 1 cent boldly declares its denomination, grounding it in its practical purpose even while the design elevates it to a piece of national art. Each time someone flips over a 2015 penny, they are reminded that America's strength comes from its unity, its history, and its perseverance. Collectors study not only the design but also the condition of each coin. Grading services evaluate coins based on factors such as luster, strike, and preservation, assigning grades that range from poor to perfect mint state. A 2015 penny graded at the highest level, free from scratches, wear, or blemishes, can already command impressive prices among collectors. Combine such condition with a rare error or historical significance, and suddenly, the coin's value multiplies beyond imagination. This is why people spend hours with magnifying glasses, microscopes, and detailed guides, examining their pennies with the hope of finding that one extraordinary piece. The 2015 penny is therefore not just about its face value but about the stories it tells, the dreams it inspires, and the unexpected fortunes it can deliver. It is a bridge between past and present, between ordinary and extraordinary, and between pocket change and unimaginable wealth. For some, it is a reminder of Lincoln's legacy; for others, it is a piece of art, and for a lucky few, it is a golden ticket worth over $1 billion. The 2015 penny becomes even more fascinating when we look at its role in the broader context of U.S. coinage history. Every coin minted in America tells us something not only about the metal it is struck from or the image it bears, but also about the society that produced it. By studying the 2015 penny, we learn about economic realities, national values, and the technological advancements of the U.S. Mint. The penny itself, though often dismissed as the lowest denomination, carries within it an enduring cultural weight. This duality, being both overlooked and yet historically significant, is what makes the story of the 2015 penny so captivating. We should remember that the Lincoln cent has been around since 1909, introduced on the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. That moment in history was groundbreaking because it marked the first time a real person, rather than an allegorical figure, appeared on a U.S. coin. The choice of Lincoln was no accident. He had become one of the most admired figures in American history, remembered for holding the nation together during its darkest days. By 2015, more than a century later, the Lincoln cent remained in circulation, linking modern America with its past. Every 2015 penny, then, is part of this larger story that stretches back generations. Looking at the symbolism of Lincoln's image on the obverse, we see more than a profile carved into metal. We see the enduring idea that leadership and sacrifice are not bound by time. Lincoln's thoughtful expression, his gaze turned slightly forward, suggests vision and determination. Above him, the phrase "In God We Trust" reminds us of the moral foundations upon which the nation was built. To the left, liberty captures the spirit of freedom, while the date 2015 situates the coin firmly in the present era. Each detail was carefully chosen, and each one contributes to the coin's symbolic weight. For coin collectors, symbolism is just as important as rarity, because it adds depth to the story a coin tells. On the reverse, the Union Shield continues this story. Its 13 stripes are more than decoration, they represent the original colonies that banded together to form a unified nation. The single horizontal bar across the top acts as a metaphor for federal unity, holding together the individual stripes below. The scroll with 1 cent is simple, bold, and clear, a declaration that this tiny coin is both functional currency and symbolic artifact. For collectors, this reverse design has become an iconic part of modern numismatics, making the 2015 penny instantly recognizable. But while design and symbolism are crucial, what often excites collectors most is the potential for financial gain. The 2015 penny's astounding valuation, in certain cases sometimes reaching $1,200 million, demonstrates the remarkable intersection of rarity, demand, and storytelling. For a coin to reach such a staggering market price, several factors must align perfectly. First, the coin must be genuinely rare. This rarity may come from an error, such as a double die obverse or a misaligned strike. Second, the coin must be in near-perfect condition, with sharp details, flawless surfaces, and no signs of wear. Third, it must capture the imagination of collectors, inspiring them to bid competitively at auctions. When these conditions converge, values skyrocket, creating the legends of million-dollar pennies. Consider the psychology of coin collecting for a moment. Humans are naturally drawn to the idea of hidden treasure. The notion that something as small and ordinary as a penny could be worth millions taps into our deepest fascination with discovery. It's the same impulse that drives people to dig for gold, hunt for artifacts, or search for rare stamps. With pennies, the treasure hunt can happen anywhere: in pocket change, in coin rolls from a bank, in jars of saved coins, or even in forgotten drawers. The 2015 penny adds fuel to this treasure hunt because it exists in such large numbers, yet within that massive circulation may lie a handful of extraordinary examples that are unlike any others. Collectors often recount stories of searching through thousands of pennies just to find one coin with a slight variation. For many, the process itself is rewarding. The act of examining coins under magnification, learning about die varieties, and identifying subtle differences is like solving a puzzle. Every 2015 penny pulled from circulation has the potential to be that rare gem, the one that defies expectations. That's why collectors often say that the hunt is just as exciting as the discovery, and when a 2015 penny with a rare error is found, the excitement can be overwhelming. Professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC step in to authenticate the coin, assign a grade, and confirm its rarity. Once verified, the coin can make its way into high-profile auctions, where passionate collectors compete for ownership. These auctions are spectacles in themselves, gatherings where history, art, and finance intersect. Imagine the bidding war escalating, numbers climbing higher and higher, until a final hammer strike declares a new record. In those moments, the humble penny transforms into a symbol of both cultural heritage and immense financial power. It is worth noting that the 2015 penny's extraordinary valuation also reflects a broader phenomenon in the numismatic market. Coins are not valued merely for their metal content, they are valued for the stories they carry, the history they preserve, and the emotions they evoke. A coin becomes priceless when it embodies a piece of history that collectors and investors cannot resist. The 2015 penny, carrying Lincoln's legacy, the Union Shield, and the chance of extreme rarity, fits this formula perfectly. This connection between history and value also highlights the importance of preservation. Collectors know that condition is everything. A 2015 penny fresh from a mint roll, uncirculated and untouched, has exponentially more value than one that has passed through countless hands, scratched, and worn down. The process of carefully storing coins in protective holders, avoiding oils from human skin, and maintaining them in climate-controlled environments is part of the collector's discipline. For many, it's not just about owning a coin, it's about preserving a piece of history for future generations. The idea that a coin could be worth $1,200 million also raises questions about value itself. What makes something valuable? Is it the material, the rarity, the history, or the demand? In the case of the 2015 penny, it is a combination of all these factors. Zinc and copper alone are worth only a fraction of a cent, yet when struck with Lincoln's portrait, linked to over a century of tradition, and discovered to be one of a kind, the value transforms. This transformation from raw metal to priceless artifact is part of what makes numismatics such an endlessly fascinating field. As we continue exploring the 2015 penny, it becomes clear that this tiny coin is more than just a piece of currency. It is a reflection of American history, a work of art, a symbol of unity, a treasure waiting to be discovered, and in rare cases, a financial marvel worth more than most people can imagine. Every time we hold a penny in our hands, we are holding a story of a nation, of a leader, of a minting process, and of the possibility that hidden within it is a fortune beyond belief. The 2015 penny also represents an interesting moment in American culture, because by this time the debate about the usefulness of the 1-cent coin was already widespread. Many economists and policymakers argued that the penny should be eliminated, pointing out that it cost more to manufacture than its actual face value. The cost of zinc, the plating process, and the logistics of minting billions of coins added up to more than the 1 cent each coin represented. Yet, despite this economic argument, the penny remained in production, largely because of its deep cultural roots and the symbolic weight it carried. Americans were not ready to let go of a coin that had been part of their lives for generations. This tension between practicality and tradition gives the 2015 penny even greater meaning. On one hand, it embodies efficiency challenges and questions about modern commerce. On the other hand, it embodies national history, memory, and symbolism. For collectors, this makes the coin doubly interesting because if the day ever comes when the penny is discontinued, every 2015 penny will become a part of the last era of Lincoln cents, which would instantly boost their appeal and potential value. Rarity can be created not only by mint errors or condition but also by historical turning points. If the penny were eliminated in the years following 2015, then that year's coins could become legendary markers of the end of an American tradition. The $1,200 million figure attached to rare 2015 pennies might seem extraordinary, but it reveals the incredible demand for iconic coins. Collectors and investors are willing to pay fortunes for the privilege of owning something irreplaceable. To them, a rare penny is not just a coin, it is a piece of national identity, a relic of history, and a status symbol. Imagine being the person who owns the world's most valuable penny. That ownership brings prestige, recognition in numismatic circles, and even headlines in the media. Stories about million-dollar pennies capture the public imagination because they turn the ordinary into the extraordinary. They suggest that treasure is all around us, hidden in plain sight, waiting for someone to recognize it. One of the fascinating aspects of coin collecting is how value changes over time. A 2015 penny in average circulation might never be worth more than face value. But in mint state condition, especially with a rare variety or error, its price can climb dramatically. As decades pass, coins from 2015 will naturally become scarcer in pristine form. Wear and tear will take their toll on circulated examples, leaving fewer and fewer in near-perfect condition. This gradual natural rarity is another reason collectors save pennies, protecting them for the future. Today's common coin could be tomorrow's treasure. This anticipation keeps the hobby alive and makes even the smallest details significant. Consider also the emotional connection many people have to pennies. For children, pennies are often the first coins they handle, collected in jars or piggy banks. For families, pennies are a part of everyday life, small but ever present. Some people believe in the superstition of finding a penny heads up as a sign of good luck. These cultural associations give the coin more than monetary value, they give it sentimental value. When collectors search for a 2015 penny worth millions, they are not just chasing financial gain, but also connecting with memories, traditions, and feelings that stretch back to childhood. The Union Shield on the reverse of the 2015 penny also deserves deeper reflection. In a time when the nation continues to face questions of unity and division, the shield stands as a reminder of what holds the country together. Its bold lines and strong symbolism speak to resilience and solidarity. Every time someone looks at that coin, even without realizing it, they are reminded of the importance of unity. This subtle reinforcement of national values through coinage is one of the quiet yet powerful roles of money in society. The 2015 penny does not just circulate as currency, it circulates as a message of shared identity, and yet, in the world of numismatics, the smallest variation can mean everything. Imagine a 2015 penny where the shield design was struck slightly off-center, or where a die crack created an extra line across the coin. To most people, such details would go unnoticed. But for a collector, they could mean the difference between a coin worth 1 cent and a coin worth hundreds of thousands, or even the astonishing $1,200 million figure we associate with the most extraordinary finds. This possibility keeps collectors searching tirelessly, looking at coins under magnifiers, weighing them, and comparing them to documented varieties of the weight of the 2015 penny. 2.5 grams also plays into this process. A difference of even a fraction of a gram can suggest something unusual. Perhaps a coin was struck on a faulty planchet, or perhaps a rare transitional error occurred. For example, if a 2015 penny were accidentally struck on a leftover copper planchet from decades earlier, it would instantly become a rarity of immense value. Such errors are rare, but they do happen, and when they do, they send shockwaves through the numismatic world. Collectors, dealers, and enthusiasts all scramble to verify the discovery, and if authenticated, the coin takes on legendary status. The market value of rare pennies is not static. It fluctuates based on demand, economic conditions, and public interest. When a story of a rare penny goes viral, interest spikes, and prices soar as collectors rush to buy. The 2015 penny has benefited from this phenomenon, with stories of extraordinary values capturing headlines and inspiring new collectors to enter the hobby. This cycle of discovery, publicity, and demand ensures that coins like the 2015 penny remain relevant, exciting, and valuable. Ultimately, the 2015 penny teaches us that value is not just about metal or denomination. It is about history, rarity, symbolism, and the human desire to find meaning in objects. From the minting process to the auction house, from childhood piggy banks to million-dollar collections, the penny touches lives in countless ways. And while most 2015 pennies will never be worth more than a cent, the possibility that one of them could be worth $1,200 million keeps the dream alive. It is this dream, this spark of hope and excitement, that makes the 2015 penny so much more than just another coin. To truly understand the significance of the 2015 penny, we must look beyond its copper-plated surface and examine the world it was born into. The year 2015 was marked by rapid technological advancement, shifting economic landscapes, and global events that shaped the way people thought about money, value, and history. In this sense, every 2015 penny is like a tiny time capsule, carrying with it the context of the era in which it was minted. When collectors hold this coin, they are not only holding a piece of metal, they are holding a fragment of American history, a link between the past and present, and a reminder of how something so small can reflect something so big. One reason the 2015 penny continues to fascinate collectors is the sheer number of coins minted that year. Billions of pennies rolled off the presses, flooding circulation across the United States. On the surface, this abundance suggests that the coin is common and ordinary. Yet within such massive numbers lies the potential for exceptions, errors, varieties, and rarities. For collectors, the thrill lies in sifting through what seems ordinary in search of the extraordinary. It's like searching for a hidden gem in a mountain of stones. The possibility that one of those billions of coins might be the rare specimen worth $1,200 million keeps the excitement alive. The process of searching itself has become a cherished ritual in the numismatic community. Coin roll hunters, as they are often called, go to banks and exchange cash for rolls of pennies, then spend hours unwrapping and inspecting them one by one. Armed with magnifying glasses, digital scales, and reference guides, they carefully check each coin for doubling in the lettering, variations in the mint mark, or unusual striking patterns. The 2015 penny often shows up in these hunts, and while most examples are ordinary, the possibility of finding something extraordinary makes every roll feel like a lottery ticket. This dedication and patience highlight how deeply people value the pursuit of discovery in coin collecting. The idea of rarity also ties into the larger history of the Lincoln cent. Since 1909, there have been many famous varieties and errors that became legendary. The 1909 SVDB penny, the 1943 copper penny, and the 1955 double die penny are some of the most iconic examples. These coins have sold for hundreds of thousands, even millions, at auction. Collectors see the 2015 penny as part of this tradition, carrying the potential to join the ranks of these legendary rarities. Every time someone examines a 2015 penny, they are not just looking at a coin, they are continuing a tradition of discovery that has thrilled collectors for over a century. Another important factor that adds value to the 2015 penny is condition. In numismatics, condition is everything. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state, with mint state coins being the most desirable. A 2015 penny fresh from a roll, with its original red luster and no signs of wear, is infinitely more valuable than one that has passed through countless hands and lost its shine. Collectors pay close attention to details such as the sharpness of Lincoln's hair, the clarity of the lettering, and the smoothness of the fields. Even the tiniest scratch can lower a coin's grade, and therefore its value. The rarest and most valuable 2015 pennies are those preserved in pristine condition, untouched by circulation. When we think about a 2015 penny reaching the incredible value of $1,200 million, it may seem unbelievable at first, but it illustrates how value in the coin world is not fixed. It is created through demand, storytelling, and rarity. People are not just buying a coin, they are buying the prestige of owning something unique, the thrill of possessing a tangible piece of history, and the pride of adding a legendary piece to their collection. In this way, the 2015 penny transcends its face value and becomes something greater, something symbolic of the human desire to preserve and treasure the past. The design itself also adds to its charm. Lincoln's portrait, rendered with detail and dignity, connects Americans to their heritage. The Union shield on the reverse, bold and unifying, reflects the values of strength and togetherness. These designs are not merely decorative, they are deliberate choices that tell a story. A story of a nation built on freedom, preserved through unity, and honored through tradition. The 2015 penny carries these values into every pocket, every cash register, and every collector's album. For many people, simply holding this coin is a reminder of the resilience of the American spirit. Collectors also pay attention to mint marks, which identify where a coin was produced. In 2015, pennies were struck at multiple facilities, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint has its own reputation, and coins from certain mints are often more desirable. For example, proof pennies from San Francisco are struck with extraordinary detail and mirror-like finishes, making them favorites among collectors. A 2015 S-proof penny in flawless condition is already highly sought after, and if combined with a rare variety or error, it could easily command staggering prices at auction. It is also important to recognize that coins like the 2015 penny do not just have financial value, they have educational value. Collectors often describe how studying coins teaches them about history, art, economics, and even metallurgy. Examining a 2015 penny closely reveals lessons about minting technology, design choices, and historical context. For younger collectors, starting with pennies is often the gateway into the broader world of numismatics. A child who begins by collecting 2015 pennies today might grow into a dedicated collector who spends decades exploring the rich history of coins. In this sense, the 2015 penny serves as both a beginning and an end, an entry point into a hobby and a potential treasure at the same time, and of course, the mythic stories surrounding pennies keep people inspired. News articles, auction reports, and viral stories about rare pennies worth small fortunes capture the imagination of millions. Even people who are not serious collectors find themselves checking their change, hoping to stumble upon a rare coin. The 2015 penny fuels these dreams, because while most are common, the possibility of discovering one of immense value lingers in the back of every person's mind. That what if is powerful, turning ordinary coins into symbols of possibility. As we reflect on the 2015 penny, we see how it represents far more than 1 cent. It represents history, heritage, possibility, and dreams. It is a coin that may seem small but carries with it stories larger than life. From the minting presses to the auction houses, from pocket change to priceless treasure, the 2015 penny embodies the mystery and magic of numismatics. Its extraordinary journey, from face value to potential billion-dollar fortune, reminds us that value is not always obvious, and that sometimes the most ordinary objects hold the greatest surprises. When examining the 2015 penny in detail, it becomes clear that what sets this coin apart is not only its physical design and composition but also the way it interacts with human imagination. A small copper-colored coin has the power to ignite curiosity, inspire collectors to search through jars and rolls, and even move markets when rare examples appear. The psychology of value attached to a coin like this is fascinating. Humans have always attached symbolic meaning to objects, especially those connected to money. The penny is no exception. It has become a symbol of good luck, of thriftiness, of patience, and of discovery. The 2015 penny inherits all these cultural layers, making it much more than a 1-cent piece. Collectors often describe the penny as the gateway coin. It is affordable, widely available, and easy to collect in bulk. Yet within its apparent simplicity lies complexity. The 2015 penny exemplifies this paradox, accessible to all, yet potentially worth millions under the right circumstances. This accessibility is one reason why the penny has remained beloved despite constant debates about its practicality. Even in 2015, with calls to abolish the cent growing louder, people continued to feel sentimental about the coin. That emotional attachment helps explain why pennies are still struck today and why coins like the 2015 penny carry value far beyond their denomination. Consider for a moment the vast journey of a single penny. A coin minted in 2015 might have traveled across states, passed through thousands of hands, dropped into vending machines, spent in stores, saved in jars, or donated to charity boxes. Each penny has a story, a path of circulation, and a history of human interaction. Now imagine that same penny turning out to be a rare variety worth hundreds of millions. Its journey suddenly takes on mythical qualities. The ordinary becomes legendary, and the coin becomes a treasure with a backstory as rich as any artifact found in an archaeological dig. This connection between ordinary life and extraordinary value is part of the magic of numismatics. Collectors are always aware that any coin in circulation could be the one that changes everything. A 2015 penny pulled casually from a cashier's drawer could be identical to billions of others, or it could be the one with a doubled die outburst, a rare transitional strike, or a mint error never before documented. The possibility of discovery keeps the hunt alive and ensures that people continue to search through their change with excitement. The extraordinary valuation of $1,200 million for certain 2015 pennies illustrates another key point. value in coins is not always rational. It is driven as much by emotion, prestige, and rarity as by material worth. A penny contains just a fraction of a cent in metal, yet under the right circumstances, collectors will compete fiercely for ownership, driving the price into unimaginable territory. This is not unique to coins. Art, stamps, and collectibles often follow similar patterns. But coins carry an extra layer of fascination because they were once part of everyday life. Unlike a painting or sculpture created as art, a coin was designed for practical use. The transformation of something practical into something priceless fascinates both collectors and the general public. The 2015 penny also provides an opportunity to reflect on Abraham Lincoln's legacy. Every time we look at his portrait on the obverse, we are reminded of his role in preserving the Union, ending slavery, and shaping the course of American history. By 2015, more than 150 years had passed since Lincoln's presidency, yet his image continued to appear on billions of coins annually. This enduring presence reflects not only national respect for Lincoln but also the way coinage preserves memory across generations. A child in 2015 who first noticed Lincoln on a penny was connecting to a tradition that began in 1909, a tradition that may continue long into the future. The Union shield on the reverse carries similar weight. It is a relatively recent design, introduced in 2010, yet its symbolism reaches back to the founding of the nation. It reminds us that out of many, there is one. For collectors, this design is more than decoration, it is a statement about national identity. In a way, every 2015 penny becomes a miniature monument, a piece of portable art that tells the story of unity. This artistic and symbolic depth is another reason coins like the 2015 penny remain treasured. We must also consider the influence of grading on value. Professional grading services have revolutionized coin collecting by providing standardized assessments of condition and authenticity. A 2015 penny graded MS-70, perfect mint state, is in a league of its own compared to one with blemishes or signs of wear. Add to that the discovery of an error or rare variety, and suddenly the coin's value skyrockets. Stories of pennies reaching astronomical values often begin with a grading certificate verifying that the coin is unique and flawless. This seal of authenticity reassures collectors and fuels competitive bidding at auctions. Auctions themselves are a spectacle worth exploring. Imagine a grand hall filled with collectors, dealers, and investors, each waiting for the chance to bid on a legendary coin. The 2015 penny, presented in a protective holder, is projected onto screens for all to see. The auctioneer begins with an opening bid, and hands immediately rise. The numbers climb quickly: millions, then tens of millions, then hundreds of millions, as the room buzzes with excitement. The bidders know they are not just buying a coin, they are buying history, prestige, and the right to say they own something that no one else does. When the gavel finally falls at $1,200 million, the audience erupts in applause. The penny, once worth only 1 cent, has become one of the most valuable objects on earth. This dramatic transformation underscores an important truth: coins carry stories. They carry the stories of the people who designed them, the mints that struck them, the hands that carried them, and the collectors who preserved them. The 2015 penny carries the story of America itself, its history, its values, its debates about practicality and tradition. And in rare cases, it carries the story of unimaginable wealth hidden in plain sight. That story is what makes people look closer at the pennies in their pockets, hoping to find the one that could change their lives forever. The 2015 penny, while a small piece of metal, functions almost like a mirror reflecting larger truths about human society. It demonstrates how people ascribe meaning to objects and how value is shaped not only by physical characteristics but also by perception, rarity, and emotion. This is why a coin minted in the billions can suddenly command a price of $1,200 million under unique circumstances. It is not the copper plating or zinc core that matters most, it is the story attached to it. Collectors and investors alike chase stories, and the 2015 penny is a story waiting to be told again and again. Let us imagine the process of someone finding a rare 2015 penny. Perhaps they are sorting through a pile of change, searching casually without expectation. They notice something slightly different about one coin. Maybe the strike looks unusual, or the weight feels off in the hand. Out of curiosity, they weigh it on a small scale and realize the reading does not match the standard 2.5 grams. Intrigued, they bring it to a professional for examination. The expert confirms that it is indeed a rare transitional error, a one-of-a-kind piece. Suddenly, this ordinary individual finds themselves holding a fortune worth more than an empire of gold. Stories like this are what fuel dreams in the numismatic community, and the 2015 penny sits at the center of such possibilities. This dream has roots in history. Coins have always been objects of fascination. Ancient civilizations minted coins not only as money but as tools of propaganda, spreading the images of kings and emperors far and wide. In the United States, coinage has long been used to communicate ideals of liberty, unity, and national pride. The Lincoln cent is a perfect example of this. When it first appeared in 1909, it was revolutionary to put a president's portrait on a coin. Over a century later, the 2015 penny continued that tradition, carrying Lincoln's image into a new age. Every 2015 penny in circulation is part of that legacy. The connection between past and present is what gives coins their unique power. A 2015 penny links us not only to Lincoln's era but to the early 21st century itself, a time of technological growth, economic challenges, and cultural shifts. Decades from now, when future collectors look back at 2015 coins, they will see them as artifacts of their time, much like we look at coins from the 1800s today. The $1,200 million valuation of certain rare examples is not just about scarcity, it is about freezing a moment of history in metal and preserving it for eternity, and yet, despite this grand historical backdrop, the penny remains humble. It is a coin so small that many people overlook it, toss it aside, or even leave it on the ground. That contrast between humility and hidden greatness is part of what makes the 2015 penny so compelling. It suggests that greatness can be hidden in the simplest of places. That the object you ignore today could be the treasure you seek tomorrow. It is a lesson not only about coins but about life itself. Collectors often say that the thrill of numismatics lies in the hunt. The 2015 penny embodies this thrill perfectly. Searching through rolls of pennies, examining each coin under magnification, and dreaming about finding that one extraordinary piece is an adventure in itself. Even if the rare $1,200 million variety is never found by most, the journey of searching brings joy, learning, and connection to history. It is a hobby that combines scholarship, artistry, and luck in a way few other pursuits do. We also must acknowledge the artistry of the coin. The engraving of Lincoln's portrait is not merely a reproduction of his likeness, it is an artistic rendering that captures his strength, determination, and humanity. Over the years, subtle changes in the dyes and minting process have altered the look of Lincoln on the penny. The 2015 version reflects the craftsmanship of modern minting technology, with sharper details and smoother finishes compared to earlier decades. For a collector, these details matter. They reveal the progress of coinage as an art form, not just a financial tool. The Union Shield on the reverse is equally significant as art. Its bold geometric lines, the carefully engraved scroll, and the balance of its composition make it a strong and dignified design. While some collectors miss the wheat ears or the Lincoln Memorial of earlier designs, many recognize the shield as a worthy symbol for a modern era. It carries the weight of tradition while speaking to continuity and unity in the present. Thus, every 2015 penny becomes not just a unit of money, but a miniature piece of art in the numismatic world. Even the packaging of a coin can affect its value. For instance, a 2015 penny preserved in its original mint set, untouched and sealed, is automatically more desirable than one that has circulated. A proof version struck at the San Francisco Mint, with its mirror-like surfaces and frosted details, can be breathtakingly beautiful. These proof coins are produced in smaller numbers and sold directly to collectors, making them rarer than ordinary circulation strikes. If one of these proof pennies carries an error or unique variety, its value could soar beyond imagination. The global interest in coins like the 2015 penny should not be overlooked either. Numismatics is not just an American hobby, it is worldwide. Collectors in Europe, Asia, and beyond eagerly seek rare U.S. coins because of their historical significance and global recognition. The Lincoln cent is one of the most famous coins in the world, and the 2015 version adds to that international appeal. This worldwide demand only increases the potential value of rare examples. When collectors from multiple continents compete for ownership, prices can reach astronomical levels. Ultimately, the 2015 penny is proof that greatness can be hidden in plain sight. It is a coin that unites art, history, symbolism, and dreams of wealth into one small, copper-colored circle. Most of these coins will remain common, circulating until they are worn down and eventually withdrawn. But a few of those rare, remarkable examples will rise above the rest, commanding values that seem impossible, like $1,200 million. These coins remind us that the world is full of hidden treasures, waiting for curious eyes to discover them. When thinking about the 2015 penny, it is also important to realize how it interacts with memory across generations. A grandfather may hand down a jar of coins collected over the years, and among them rests a 2015 penny in pristine condition. To the untrained eye, it looks no different than the billions of others. But to a collector, it could represent a link between past and future, between the history of Abraham Lincoln and the dreams of a new generation. In such moments, the coin stops being just money. It becomes a vessel of legacy. The very act of holding a penny ties one to countless others who have done the same. Think about it, billions of people across the United States have held pennies in their hands, used them to buy candy, saved them in jars, or tossed them into wishing fountains. The 2015 penny shares in this collective human experience. It carries with it the fingerprints of society, and in rare cases, it carries the golden glow of immense financial value. That duality, between common and extraordinary, defines the magic of the coin. The market has always loved surprises, and the penny provides them regularly. In numismatic circles, stories of astonishing discoveries circulate like folklore. A collector finds a doubled die coin worth thousands. A metal detectorist uncovers a rare error in a park. Someone checking pocket change stumbles upon a variety that experts had not even documented yet. These tales create an atmosphere of adventure around coin collecting. And when the coin in question is as humble as the penny, the excitement multiplies. The 2015 penny, with its potential to reach the staggering figure of $1,200 million, is the ultimate dream coin in this respect. But what exactly makes one 2015 penny worth so much more than another? The answer lies in a delicate balance of rarity, condition, demand, and story. Rarity means that only a handful, or sometimes only one, of the coin exists in its unique form. Condition ensures that the coin is preserved without flaws, perhaps even in a state of perfection. Demand arises from collectors who desire the coin not just as a piece of metal but as a prize, a trophy, and a symbol of their dedication. And story is what ties it all together, the narrative of how the coin was made, discovered, and passed along. Without the story, the coin would be just another artifact. With the story, it becomes priceless. One must also appreciate the role of technology in uncovering the mysteries of coins like the 2015 penny. Modern collectors often use high-powered microscopes, precision scales, and advanced imaging to analyze every detail. These tools allow them to spot doubled dies, misalignments, and planchet errors invisible to the naked eye. The advancement of technology has made the hunt for rare pennies even more thrilling, because now anyone with dedication can join the search from the comfort of their home. A coin that once passed unnoticed can now be re-examined and revealed as a fortune. The emotional side of collecting cannot be overlooked. For many, the 2015 penny is more than a potential jackpot. It is a reminder of patience, curiosity, and hope. Imagine saving pennies as a child, stacking them, rolling them, and wondering what secrets they might hold. That sense of wonder never truly fades. When an adult collector examines a penny under a magnifier, they are tapping into the same sense of excitement they felt as children. It is a timeless joy, and the 2015 penny keeps the joy alive. We can also consider the role of the United States Mint in shaping how the 2015 penny is viewed. The Mint is not just a factory, it is an institution that reflects the nation's values. Every coin that leaves its presses carries with it the responsibility of representing America to its people and to the world. The 2015 penny, with its Lincoln obverse and Union Shield reverse, was part of that mission. Even if most coins went unnoticed in daily commerce, the Mint ensured that the design was clean, meaningful, and enduring. This attention to detail laid the groundwork for the rare gems that later emerged from the year's production. The penny's role in education is also worth exploring. Teachers often use coins to teach children about history, economics, and even math. A 2015 penny in a classroom could spark conversations about Abraham Lincoln, the Civil War, the concept of unity, and the function of currency in society. In this way, a coin worth just 1 cent could open doors to an entire world of knowledge. Later in life, if that same penny turned out to be a rare variety, it would add another layer of meaning, transforming an educational tool into a world-class treasure. It is also fascinating to think about how pennies tie into the rituals of everyday life. People toss pennies into fountains to make wishes. They place them on railroad tracks to be flattened as souvenirs. They save them in jars and eventually cash them in. Each of these simple acts is a thread in the cultural fabric of America. The 2015 penny is part of this fabric, woven into the ordinary routines of millions of people. Yet in the background, a select few of these coins carry extraordinary potential, waiting silently until the day they are recognized. When that recognition comes, the world pays attention. Newspapers write headlines. News stations cover the story. Social media spreads the word, inspiring millions of people to check their change. The discovery of a rare 2015 penny becomes not only a numismatic event but a cultural phenomenon. For a moment, everyone dreams of finding treasure in their pocket. And that is the power of the penny, it democratizes the dream of wealth and discovery. The 2015 penny also represents something profound about continuity in American life. While so much changes year to year, politics, technology, fashion, even language, the penny has remained a quiet constant. For more than a century, the Lincoln cent has bridged generations. The 2015 issue was not the first and certainly not the last, but it carried the weight of tradition into the 21st century. Collectors often remark that coins are among the few objects in society that look almost the same across decades, connecting us to the past in a tangible way. When you hold a 2015 penny, you hold not just a coin but a piece of continuity, a thread that ties you to history. It is also worth thinking about how scarcity develops over time. Right now, billions of 2015 pennies exist, but most are already circulating, getting scratched, dented, and worn. A large percentage will eventually be pulled out of circulation, melted down, or lost. What remains, especially in high-grade condition, will slowly but surely become rarer. This natural attrition is one reason coins gain value with age. In 100 years, pristine 2015 pennies may be astonishingly hard to find, and if rare varieties are among them, their worth could be beyond imagination. The $1,200 million figure attached to the rarest examples reflects not just current demand but also the future potential of scarcity. The global fascination with error coins also plays into the story of the 2015 penny. Errors are often accidental, caused by equipment malfunctions, misaligned dies, or leftover planchets from earlier years. They are mistakes that were never meant to exist, but once they escape the mint, they become treasures. A 2015 penny struck on the wrong planchet, or with a doubled die, could instantly become one of the most valuable coins in existence. What makes this fascinating is that errors occur completely by chance, turning ordinary production into extraordinary rarity. It is almost as if fate decides which coin will rise above the rest. The fascination deepens when we consider the psychology of ownership. To hold the world's most valuable penny is not just about wealth, it is about status, recognition, and identity. Such a coin would make headlines, secure a place in museums or private collections, and forever attach the owner's name to numismatic history. People pay astronomical sums not only for the coin itself but for the story of ownership. They want to be part of history, part of the legend that surrounds the rare 2015 penny. That is why bidding wars erupt at auctions and why collectors are willing to risk fortunes for the chance to own something no one else has. The journey of such a coin from circulation to stardom is almost cinematic. Imagine someone discovering the rare 2015 penny in their pocket, at first thinking it is just ordinary change. They put it aside, later noticing something odd. After research and verification, they realize they are holding a treasure worth more than most people will see in a lifetime. The story spreads, the coin is graded, authenticated, and eventually put up for auction. Collectors from around the globe tune in, the bids climb higher and higher, and at last, the hammer falls at $1,200 million. The coin, once ignored, is now legendary. This story illustrates why coins hold such power over the human imagination, but not all value is financial. The 2015 penny also carries symbolic value. Abraham Lincoln's image reminds people of leadership, unity, and sacrifice. The Union shield on the reverse reinforces the importance of national solidarity. Even if a penny is never worth more than 1 cent, it can still inspire pride, reflection, and memory. This non-monetary value is often overlooked but is just as real as the prices fetched at auction. For many, a penny found on the ground can still be lucky, a charm against misfortune, or a reminder to stay humble. These intangible values add another dimension to the story of the 2015 penny. The question of whether the penny will be discontinued adds even more weight to the 2015 issue. If Congress were to eliminate the 1-cent coin, the last years of production would instantly become historic. Collectors would look back at 2015 as one of the final chapters in the story of the penny. That possibility makes every 2015 cent a potential artifact of the end of an era. Whether or not the penny continues, the uncertainty itself creates interest, drawing more collectors to hold on to coins from this year. Looking at the broader picture, the 2015 penny sits at the crossroads of history, economy, culture, and dreams. It is small enough to be overlooked yet powerful enough to inspire million-dollar headlines. It represents both the ordinary and the extraordinary, both the humble and the legendary. And that is why people continue to search, to hope, and to treasure these coins. The possibility that one coin, struck in 2015, could be worth $1,200 million is enough to keep the fascination alive for decades to come. As we come to the end of this long journey into the world of the 2015 penny, it is worth pausing to reflect on what makes this small coin so extraordinary. On the surface, it is nothing more than a 2.5-gram piece of copper-plated zinc, struck by machines and released by the billions into circulation. But beneath that simple exterior lies a world of meaning, symbolism, and potential. The 2015 penny represents history through the face of Abraham Lincoln, unity through the Union shield on its reverse, artistry through its detailed design, and dreams through the astonishing stories of rarity and value that elevate it far beyond its face worth. The staggering figure of $1,200 million attached to certain rare 2015 pennies captures the imagination because it transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. It tells us that even the smallest, most overlooked objects can contain limitless potential. That possibility is what keeps collectors searching through pocket change, what makes coin shows buzz with excitement, and what turns auctions into legendary spectacles. It is the spark of hope that drives numismatics, reminding us that treasure may be hiding in plain sight, but beyond wealth and rarity, the 2015 penny also carries something more timeless: the ability to connect generations. It links children who first notice Lincoln's profile in their piggy banks to seasoned collectors who study every detail under magnification. It links everyday citizens who drop pennies into wishing fountains to investors who spend fortunes at auction houses. It links the past to the future, reminding us that history lives not just in books or monuments but in the coins we carry in our pockets. In the end, the 2015 penny is more than just a coin. It is a story. It is a symbol. It is a dream. Most of them will remain in circulation, unnoticed, fulfilling their duty as currency. But a select few will rise above, preserved in perfect condition or marked by rare errors that transform them into legends. Those rare survivors will inspire awe, command fortunes, and secure their place in history. And who knows, perhaps one of them is sitting quietly in a jar, a drawer, or a pocket right now, waiting for the moment when it will be discovered and celebrated as one of the most valuable coins the world has ever known. So the next time you come across a penny from 2015, do not dismiss it. Look closely. Hold it with curiosity. Study its details. Because hidden within that tiny circle of copper is the possibility of greatness. Whether it is worth a cent or $1,200 million, it carries a piece of history and a spark of wonder. And that is what makes the 2015 penny a true treasure, not just in the world of numismatics, but in the story of America itself.